Hello. How we doing today, guys? Is it just me or is this camera just like really saturated? Okay, 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 how's that? This is very whitewashed if I don't do it. Thank you for the 2 gifted subs, sarcastic as Cal. Appreciate that. Ooh, I'm not getting audio from that. Let's see. Happy Mardi Gras Eve. Oh, it's Mardi Gras Eve? Happy Mardi Gras Eve. Okay. I think maybe I got the audio to work a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's all pretty new to me. I also, when I set up stuff on my desktop for streaming, sometimes I forget to set it up on my laptop, and then I end up having to do this. But like, it's fine. It's fine. We gotta have our daily sub goal there. We're gonna be doing some sheet pan chicken garlic parm. We're making some garlic parm sheet pan chicken with broccoli and what was the other thing? Broccoli and potatoes. I ordered groceries. I had a couple other meetings today, so I couldn't go grocery shopping today. Um, Unfortunately, I'm watching my friend's dogs. She had to drop off her dogs today, and I had a meeting today, so I didn't have time to go to the grocery store. So I had to order groceries, and they should be here in a minute. So you have to stick with me. But it's a very easy, simple, straightforward recipe today. So it shouldn't take all that long. It's gonna take 35 minutes in the oven once it gets in the oven. So that's prime time for cleaning. Oh, I gotta grab a headband to keep my hair because it's not long enough to put into a ponytail or anything. But I gotta get it out of my hair, or out of my eyes at least, out of my face. What was I doing? I was doing something. Hold on. Hold on. Do you need your glasses? No. Technically, I don't ever need my glasses. I have a very, very small prescription. Yeah, get the hair on my face. That was one thing. But there was another thing that I was gonna do. Music. I wonder if we can find some like royalty free music. Library? No, I just want to play. Do we think like lo-fi? Maybe some lo-fi? That'll be fine, right? We'll just do some lo-fi beats. Oh. Okay, it is playing, but it's not. Do I have the MIDI on here? Yeah, I do. that shouldn't... Well, maybe it should. Okay. Okay. Almost there. I'm figuring it out. There we go. Happy Monday. Can't see shit, gang. I can see shit. I can see so much shit, actually, that my optometrist told me you don't need glasses. And then he gave me a prescription anyway. Florida and Louisiana are a peak duo. I appreciate that, Alex. I'm writing this recipe down, so please go slow. I will do my best. Thank you for the Prime sub, Stacked15. I miss your state videos, even though we don't agree politically. I appreciate you missing my videos, Mac. I took a mental health break. They might come back soon, because education is important to me. Oh, I just had a recipe idea. Chicken Don Sack. It was Freddie Mercury's favorite dish. Okay, my groceries are here, guys. I'm gonna grab my groceries. We'll be right back. All right, we got our stuff. Fixing to kill a glass of milk once these brownies are done. Sad they don't have any ice cream. You can make ice cream if you got milk, right? Sorry about that. I did go kind of hard on you back in the day. Oh, Mac, don't worry about it. I didn't notice. One of the pros and also the cons of having a lot of followers.
Today's sponsor is HelloFresh. Get meals delivered to your door with a click of a button. Use code PIZZATIME for 20% off your next order.
Tired fella. Why would you do that? Why would you play the HelloFresh sound? Also, thank you for the follow, Gutson Borglum. My man just spent 15 cents to play the HelloFresh sound like I'm sponsored. I am not sponsored. I am not sponsored. These recipes are for me or just honestly randomly. I'll just be scrolling on like TikTok or Instagram or something. I'll save. If I see food that looks good, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that.
I'm in danger.
I'm not in danger. Okay. Okay, there's a lot happening right now. We're in a hype train. We're in a hype train, and also It's overstimulate Ben night. You guys couldn't. As much fun as that might be to try to, like, the goal is to have chat try to overstimulate me.
We did it! We did it!
You
We
couldn't.
did it! Yay! Always team up! We did it!
I diagnosed
Either or.
complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I slept through automatic grenade launcher fire, guys. You think some channel point redeems are gonna overstimulate me? That's a fresh shirt. Appreciate that. It's one of my faves. Okay, we have a state accent redeem. Transatlantic or rock the bucket hat? I think I can do a transatlantic. I never took theater, but you see, I've heard this accent before. I just didn't have a phase where all I did was talk in it, you see? Okay, I'll be right back. I have to find a headband to keep the hair out of my face. I know I've got a few. I just don't know where I put them. Okay, we're back and we're ready to roll. We're gonna start cooking now. Wow, I didn't know his voice could go so low and so smooth. You didn't know that about me? This is all I do. Now, because this recipe says we have to spend 35 minutes in the oven, I figured we have that perfect timing to clean the rest of my dishes while it's in there. The first thing we have to do with this recipe Thank you for the 100 bits, Kel. The first thing we're going to do with this recipe is we need some garlic Parmesan sauce. Now, I found a knockoff recipe for the Buffalo Wild Wings garlic Parmesan sauce. We're gonna make that. Basically, garlic Parmesan sauce is more or less just Alfredo sauce. Obviously, it's a little different, but it's mostly just Alfredo sauce. So we're basically just gonna make some Alfredo sauce to get started here. Let me pull up my recipe. Ooh, I also need to grab my camera. Move this off to the side here. We need these potatoes, but we need them in a better place than this. Play nice. Got it. We learned last week that if we try to use this this gimbal the way that it was intended to be used, it's just gonna fall down. But if we use it sort of just like a Now, how the fuck did I have it last time? Got it. There we go. We're getting it. Arguably, I should have had all of this stuff set up before I started streaming, but argue if you want. Okay, power on. Party on, Garth. Is 90 seconds of unskippable ads really necessary? To pay my rent? Yeah. Remember, if you get mad at advertisements on a content creator's page, your anger is valid but misdirected. If you combated the system that forced me to have to use ads to live, we'd both be better off. I am not your enemy, I am your entertainment. Capitalism is the enemy. Should we be mad at paid streaming services that force ads? Yeah, no. Actually, yes. I think those people are high enough in the system and they make enough money that the use of ads is simply greed. You can be mad at them for sure. But like people like me? Dog, I gotta pay rent. You know what I'm saying? If you pay, they go away, as Kel says. Okay, I think I got the camera set up. Chicken parm don't buy itself. Chicken parm also don't make itself. My friend just finished a 40-week bodybuilding program. It's a girl, weighs 7 pounds, 2 ounces. That is a very funny way to say that. Okay. As a fellow native Floridian, can you give me a shout out? No. Ugh. I think one day I'm just gonna have all this stuff set up. And then all I have to do is start. But that day is not the day. Alright, let's hop in. Uh-oh. Arguably, I should have checked to see if that was ready to go before I clicked it, but... Is this gonna... There we go. That's my arm. Okay, I've got to ask what the party on Garth was in response to. Oh, it wasn't really in response to anything. It's just something I say sometimes, you know? Oh, I thought I updated these. Nope, we gotta update the meal thing. We're making garlic parm sheet pan chicken. Save, publish. And then we also need... What? 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 What are you barking at? What? Nobody's here. Nobody's here. There's no one home. It's just me. It's you and me. None of the neighbors. I need you to calm down. Okay, we're good. We're chill. We're relaxed. We're good. Show us the doggos. Oh, I guess I do have this camera, huh? Oh, oh, oh. Let's see. That's one of the doggos. Oh, they're leaving. Why is this? What is this stuck on? Well, I tried. I tried to show you a doggo. The doggo did not want to be seen. Don't pay attention to all the dirty dishes back there. We're gonna clean those tonight. Alright, so the first thing we gotta do is cook the garlic parm sauce, right? We're gonna need butter. We're gonna need garlic. Already got butter out. We're gonna need butter, we're gonna need garlic. We're gonna need a pan, a medium sauce pan. Oh, my knees. Use this pot. Doggo's name, Ellie and Clover are the two puppers' names. Butter, yeah, mince some garlic. We need Italian seasonings. I guess. We're gonna need flour. And we're gonna need chicken broth, which we got chicken bouillon. This stuff is great. It's like powdered chicken bouillon. You just make like a cup and a half of boiling water and you put like a teaspoon in there and then you mix that up. Boom, chicken broth. We need heavy cream and we need Parmesan cheese and some salt and pepper. And guess what? We have those things. Got it all, baby. Okay. How many tablespoons are in a cup? Anybody know? Is it like 8? 16 tablespoons in a cup? All right. This says 4 a quarter cup of butter, and a quarter cup of flour. That's 4 tablespoons. Dinner. Hi, Kiki. Welcome in. Appreciate you. It's that one guy with the face. Thank you. All right, let's wash our hands first. Oh wait, I need my tablespoon. Give me that. And then one of the things that came in the mail, grocery delivery. Paper towels. Okay. With that being said, let's wash our hands and get started here. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is mince up our garlic. Because that takes the longest amount of time, so we gotta do it first. Okay, the only cutting board that I have right now that's clean is the largest one. So, that's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can put all these cords back behind the laptop. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Is this not gonna... Come on, work with me. No, not that one. There we go. I don't know if this is exactly how I had it set up last time, but... Oh, we can zoom out. Perfect. You hear the music twice? Not sure that I can fix it right now, unfortunately. Must admit that I make dad jokes even though I'm not a dad. Would that make me a faux pas? It would now. Okay. Where's my garlic at? Garlic. We need at least 4 cloves. Those are pretty sizable. I think that'll be enough. Gotta get the good knife. And a little hack to help get the jackets off. If you crush your garlic just a little bit, their jackets come off pretty easy. Okay, I crushed that one a lot. It's fine. We're mincing it anyway. Some garlics are stronger than others. Okay, now we're gonna do a pretty fine mince. There is no right or wrong way to mince your garlic as long as it is minced and you do it comfortably and safely. Just remember, the smaller the pieces of garlic, the quicker it's gonna cook. Usually when I mince garlic, the first thing I do is I go clove by clove and I do a pretty fine chop of each clove. And then I put all the cloves together like that. And mostly just chaos at this point. But also, I want to let you know, there's nothing wrong with garlic. So if you want to buy a jar of pre-cut garlic and just spoon the garlic in, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. It's gonna probably taste just about the same. It's probably gonna smell just about the same. It's a little less fresh than just chopped garlic, obviously, so you might need a little bit more garlic than you would fresh minced cloves. Big ups to garlic. Honestly, anything that exists to make your life at home cooking easier, hell yeah. When people ask me how to cut an onion, I usually just tell them to buy a slap chop. Shit, ads. Give the answer in 1 minute. All right. Never gotten the same results from fresh as from the jar, especially when making pernil. I feel like a dish like pernil is gonna be a little bit different because it's literally like garlic roasted pork shoulder. But if you're doing just like, you know, your everyday cooking, if you're just making dinner for the family, garlic's probably gonna do the job. If the garlic isn't the central flavor, garlic will work. Yeah. It ain't about easier. Garlic tastes and smells very bad. I love garlic. I've never really noticed. Honestly, garlic is garlic. Garlic is literally just garlic that's been minced already for you. All right. Hi, I like your shirt. Hi, Sarah. Thank you. I've had it for many years, and sometimes I just forget. But it is one of my favorite shirts. It's one of my favorite shows as a kid. It was Pinky and the Brain. I usually name my cars Pinky because I'm the Brainerd. You've eaten wild garlic from the river? What was the garlic doing in the river? Pinky is the smart one, by the way. I don't know about that. Narf, what are we gonna do tonight, Brian? Same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try and take over the world. Narf, okay, Brian. There's a very good argument that Pinky was the genius and Brain was insane. Can a person not be insane and a genius? I feel like there's a very fine line. OMG, stop. I may fall Aiton L9V with you. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna start cooking now. We gotta make our sauce. First thing we gotta do with our sauce, we gotta melt 4 tablespoons of butter over medium, low. We're gonna go medium, low. The reason I chose this pot is because it has the dimples on the side for pouring. And that's what we like. This is supposed to be 8, so... That's about 4. Four tablespoons of butter in the pot. Okay, when the butter is melted, we're gonna drop in our garlic. You know what? Nah, we're gonna do it over here. Just give me this one. Sometimes this burner is just, it burns too hot, but Jesus. What are you stuck on? Stop being stuck on it. Please don't use metal on that pot. Do you have a wooden spoon? Cutie Nina 14, have you seen me grab a utensil at all yet? I used a metal knife for the butter, but you just saw the I haven't grabbed the utensil at all. You just joined my stream, which, by the way, is a man live streaming himself cooking dinner. You saw a pot, and your first thought was, well, I have to correct them. I haven't even gotten to the part that requires correcting. At least let me be wrong first. I know you're trying. I don't even know who you are. I would love to get this fixed. So that I don't have to do all this finagling every time. But alas. That'll be good enough. The lack of white balance is in both cameras is triggering. I know. You think it bothers you? Imagine being the person that owns the cameras. Now, the laptop camera, it has auto white balance, which is great. But it's incredibly whitewashed, so I had to add color. This one, we'll see. We'll do this, right? We'll give it a white. Let's see if we can get the auto. That looks good. All right. Do you have any physical media? VHS, DVDs, CDs? I have vinyls. I got some records. That counts, right? Okay. I have a question about one of your jokes, if I might. Sure. You may, you might. Did you make your flight? I did, Amiel the Khajiit. I made my flight. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they knew flights were all fucked up, and that and I'm going to go ahead and assume they held a little bit longer. However, I was running real fast. I was running real fast, and she did know my name when I pulled up. Like, that part is not exaggerated at all. When I pulled up, she was like, "Are you Brainerd?" Because she had, I don't know if the lady from the customer service desk called or if she had it on her computer, but that part's legit. I pulled up and she said, "Are you Brainerd?" And I was a little bit too tired and breathing heavily to answer her, so I just gave her, like, nodded, thumbs up. I wanted to do a video where I'm watching my own special and I pause every so often to explain what parts of the show are real and what parts I made up for the bit. But as I was kind of going through my jokes, it's all pretty much real. I think I exaggerated a couple things here or there for the bit, but it's all pretty much, like, spot on. Ugh. This fight leaves in 6 minutes. Direct quote, Amiel. Not exaggerated. That is a direct quote from the. She said, "This flight leaves in She eyed me up and down and said, "You're good, you can make it." I did not have to write a punchline for that. She said those words to me. And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "This flight leaves in 6 minutes. Run." It was wild. My luggage did end up in Jacksonville, by the way. I think my luggage got to Jacksonville before I did. I vaguely remember like landing and like looking for luggage, and my luggage was like already picked up and like moved into their office. Did she say which gate as you ran away? She must have. She must have just yelled C, whatever it was. I know it was Terminal C. Was it 2? Maybe it was Gate 2 or Gate 20. I think it was one of those. It was either 2 or 20, I forget. Whatever I said in the joke is probably the correct number. I don't quite remember, but it was either 2 or it was 20. Because it was like at the end, like, because you come out in the terminal kind of like in the middle of the terminal. You come out of the hallway and you're in the middle. So like half of the gates are to your left and the other half are to the right, I think. I've been in a lot of airports. I could be mixing it up. I had to tell my 2-year-old not to lock the cat. Sorry. You didn't mention one to my knowledge. I think I say a gate number, but maybe I don't. I don't know. If my memory serves well, it was either 2 or 20. All right, butter is melted. Let's add in our garlic. I don't know if that's like how you're supposed to do getting garlic off of a knife, but that's the way I do it, and it has never served me wrong before. We're gonna put this back here for now. I don't think I'm gonna need my cutting board again for this. All right, we're cooking this until fragrant. If you don't know what that means, you're gonna cook the butter and the garlic until you smell the garlic. It only takes like a minute or so. Ben, did you elbow the old lady or hurdle over the random bench? I did not hurdle a bench. I thought about it. I know, because I learned how to hurdle when I was running track in high school. I thought about hurdling a bench. And there were a couple times where I thought I might have to hurdle a bench. But I did not hurdle a bench. Did I elbow or shoulder check an old lady? No! That would be awful! Who would do that? All I'm saying is it's you know how the flow of traffic works, okay? You know, if you're on the right side, that's this way, and if you're on the left side, you're coming this way. If you are diddly-dallying on the wrong side of the road, cars are gonna hit you, right? And we can apply that to walking as well. Foot traffic is the same. Stay in your lane, and then maybe you won't have to worry about oncoming traffic. Comical tuber, Elden Ring bloodstains, but it's people who did not, who missed their flights, trying to fight their way through O'Hare. So many bloodstains. If you dilly when you should be dallying, you're gonna have a bad time. Thank you, Junius. Why is this formatted like your aesthetic video game stream? Because this is an aesthetic stream. This one just happens to be cooking. Did you just slip into an Anaheim accent? Like Anaheim, California? I don't think Anaheim, California has an accent. Stay in your lane and move your ass, am I right? When you're right, you're right. I'm like watching that 7'4" guy POV through the airport. I didn't know that was a thing. The fact that not all the garlic is in the pot is triggering me. All right. We got our special little whisk here. It's not metal. Okay. We got our 4 tablespoons of butter. We gotta get our 4 tablespoons of flour. One. 2. 3. 4. 'Oh yeah. Perfecto. Look at that consistency. Look at that color. Oh yeah, baby. Now that's a good roux. I wish the camera did it a bit more justice. You gotta just believe me, it's the right color. Gah, more ads. Charles, you know how you can get rid of ads? $6 a month. $6 a month, no ads, Charles. Okay. So, the next thing we gotta do is add our chicken broth. We're cooking this on medium low, which is not enough to boil water, right? But our chicken broth, our bouillon, needs to be added to boiling water. So what we're gonna do is actually put the kettle on and boil some water that way. So that's gonna be boiling in a minute or two. We're gonna take our measuring cup here. My mama would have told me to get the switch if I did that. I referenced a joke you've probably told a billion times, but you said it at your show I went to. How much chicken broth do we need? Cup and a half. Ish. Oh, is my teaspoon dirty? Alright. I gotta wash my little teaspoon. Honestly, the last thing I'd probably use this teaspoon for was the chicken bouillon, so it's not gonna be too bad if I get it dirty with more chicken bouillon. But while this roux is toasting, getting our chicken broth ready. Oh, silly me. The kettle was unplugged. Okay, so now it'll be ready in a minute or two. Are you going off a recipe or memory? This is a recipe right now, but it's one of those things where, like, I know how to make this thing, so I don't really need to look at the recipe all that much. But it's a very specific thing that I'm trying to create. I know the basics of it. I just want to make sure that I'm adding the ingredients that they are telling me to add. So, 1.5 cups of chicken broth. They're saying 3/4 cup heavy cream, and then 1 cup of Parmesan cheese with salt and pepper. It already looks really good. It's just butter. It's just butter, garlic, and flour. With a bit of a toasted roux. Boy, if you don't whisk that roux, relax. It's on medium-low heat. I have the time. This is far from my first roux. When do we fold in the cheese? It's under the sauce. It's under the sauce. It's under the sauce. I know that I just referenced a different thing to what you were referencing, but I feel like you're gonna be fine with it. Like 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese right there. Alright, once this sauce is done, we gotta... Ooh, we do have to chop broccoli and potatoes. So we are gonna need that chopping board back. We're about to reach through the phone to whisk it or so. Yeah. I mean, it is under the sauce. R.I.P. but love a Schitt's Creek reference. Schitt's Creek is solid. I know it's not your first roux, Dio, but a roux will burn so fast. Well, a roux burns fast if you have it on medium-high heat, but since we're using more dairy, we're putting on medium sad. Your pot is making a sad face. Aw. I think I forgot to ask the other night, but do you know when you're coming back to Spokane, and why will you be selling out the Spokane Arena when you do? I don't know when I'm coming back to Spokane yet. I'm about to start doing shows again. I've been on break. Probably will not be selling out the Spokane Arena though. Instant chicken broth. All right, now we're turning the heat up. to medium. Oh, that is thick. This is a lot thicker than I think it should be right now. I'm gonna add more chicken broth. We're gonna do another half cup of chicken broth, maybe 3/4 cup. Why did I put my bouillon away? All right, another 3/4 cup of chicken broth. We'll combine that. That's better. Okay, so what did I put in at first? A cup and a half of chicken broth, and then I added 3/4 cup more, so is 5/4 is 1 1/4, so 2 cups, 2 1/4 cup chicken broth. And we raise the heat up to medium, which they do feel has the best food. Interesting. My immediate guess is Louisiana. Cause ain't nobody else got Cajun food like Louisiana got. They do a lot of stuff better than everybody else. But it's gotta be somewhere in the South. If it ain't Louisiana, it's another southern state. Cause I've been to a lot of states, you know? And they seem to be allergic to butter. Which is wild to me. That's insane to me. All right. Louisiana, Texas, or Mexico? I'd say probably not New Mexico, just based purely on population size. I don't think New Mexico has enough people. Don't get me wrong, the food's not bad, but I just don't think there's the population is high enough to really include all the gastro diversity of a place with a higher population. Have you been in all USA states? I have been to every state except for Hawaii. Your kitchen, your rules. Thank you. All right, so the recipe says to bring this to a simmer for a couple minutes until it thickens. It ain't simmering yet, but It's thick. So, I think you'd be surprised about New Mexico. Like I said, I know New Mexico has good food. I love me some hatch chiles. Reds, greens, and Christmases, right? What I'm saying is the population isn't high enough to truly have the same gastrodiversity as a place like Texas or Louisiana or even Florida. Not only do they have Neo Mexicano, but also the various indigenous communities. Yeah, and all of those are fantastic. All of those are fantastic. But like if you're just in South Florida, you're gonna get food from like 19 different cultures on one block. And that's just South Florida. But I want you to hear me when I say New Mexico has good food. Neo Mexicano, indigenous, great dishes, wonderful meals. I'm talking about like the gastro diversity available in a place with a much broader population. Mexican is indigenous. If you're in Mexico, but even still, there's a difference between like Mexican and indigenous Mexican. And I know that Mexico used to own that territory, but that doesn't mean that just because you're Mexican means you're an indigenous New Mexican. That's not how that works. Didn't mean to start a food fight. Y'all are too quick to apologize. You don't need to apologize. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. It's complicated, true. Brynja, it's not even that complicated. Indigenous is a thing. You can like that. If your DNA comes back to like your ancestors are from that area, you're indigenous to that area. Also, there are indigenous people that are earlier than the country of Mexico. Exactly. And they're called, say it with me, the Spanish people. I'm so sorry. Sorry, they're called conquistadores. I'm talking food-wise. Not all Mexican food is indigenous food. Thanks for the follow, Dillers. So what we're cooking now is the replacement for the Buffalo Wild Wings garlic Parmesan sauce. Yes. And I think that's good enough. It's right at the edge of simmering. Just put the whisk to the pot, bro? What does that mean? What do you mean by that, comical tuber? Recipe says to add 3/4 cup heavy cream. And I know we increased the chicken broth, but it's still kind of thick, so I don't think we need to increase the amount of... Did I use water in that? Yeah. Are we gonna have to boil that out of there to make it thicker? Probably. Yeah, probably. But most of the recipe that's here is it's just mostly thickening agents. Dry laughed at the Spanish joke, and that was about it. This is a cup and a half of Parmesan cheese in this bag, so. Is that too much cheese? I don't know, maybe. Blah, contrary commentary. I'm not trying to be contrarian, Brynja, but historically, just because food is Mexican doesn't mean it's indigenous Mexican. There's a difference. Ethnically, nationally, and gastronomically. The cheese knows no limits. Needs Romano? I don't have Romano, Red Sky. I have Parmesan, which I say it like that because I think it's fun. And I have mozzarella. And then I have sliced provolone. This smells damn good, by the way. Cheese pull. Okay, we're gonna add pepper. We're gonna add salt. I think my roommate replaced the salt that was in my little thing. Throw my hat in the ring as if we didn't beat this poot horse. The displacement of indigenous people, especially from the north and east of the United States to the west, would mean that some indigenous cuisines in New Mexico aren't necessarily related to pre-Columbian groups. Yeah, absolutely. Brynja wasn't taking that commentary route, but you're right. I said what I said for the contrary reason to the other person. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the other person's comment. Texas accent, please. I can do that for you. Thank you for the China Point redeemed lovely mystery. I keep pink Himalayan salt in my salt cellar. I usually keep sea salt, but it is good to remind yourself sometimes. Make sure your salt that you're putting in all things make sure the salt you're using in all your cooking is iodized, because you need your iodine. That's why they iodize salt, so that you get the proper iodine in your diet. We're gonna toss some Italian seasonings in here. Now, here's the thing, right? If I was making this garlic Parmesan sauce, I'd put more in here. But we're trying to make a dupe. We're trying to duplicate something else's, a different type of someone else's sauce. So I still might add my own things in there. Dude keeps a non-iodized salt on hand for when a recipe specifically calls for that. Also true, Charles, for sure. I got sea salt. Well, I had sea salt, ran out of sea salt. I got a tub of iodized salt. I got garlic salt. I got other salts. I have a sea salt grinder. Well, ain't you fancy, Cal? Alright, we're gonna mix this up. Yeah. And we gonna take a little taste. Ben, can I get a measurement on that Italian seasoning? Annie, you think I measure seasonings? Several shakes. Decent amount. Here's how you can do it, right? Add in Italian seasoning, stir up your pot, and if you smell the Italian seasoning after you've stirred it together, that's probably the correct amount of Italian seasoning. If you don't smell the Italian seasoning after it's been incorporated, you ain't add enough Italian seasoning. The other way to try it, and that's what we're about to do, is we're just gonna taste it. Now, the thing with this, right? This is like 90% garlic and cheese. That's gonna be what we're tasting, is garlic and cheese. The Italian seasonings, a lot of the effect here is for looks. Cause you see them speckles in there now? It looks like it's been seasoned with shit, and therefore your brain is gonna think that it has been. Eating involves all 5 senses. Guys, holy shit. Oh my god. That's so good. Holy shit. That's so good. Whatever I don't use is going in a mason jar. Expeditiously. Alright, we're gonna drop that down to low because we want to keep it a little warm while we do the rest of this part. I want to see what somebody said something about. Each seasoning is an instrument of an orchestra as well. Yes. That's a really good way to put that, John Foy. Yeah, if you take the drums out of your orchestra, you'll notice them missing more than you noticed them being there before. My chef coworker always said that people always eat with their eyes first. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that's why bell peppers all taste the same, but they come in 4 different colors. I don't actually know if they taste the same. I don't think they taste different enough to me to warrant all them colors. But they do look pretty. They do look pretty. Find the orange and yellow varieties to be sweeter. Huh. Good to know. Honestly, I think probably what it is that I don't know if I've ever eaten just one bell pepper at a time. green tastes different from red, orange, and yellow, which taste the same to me. I believe that. I know there's a difference. There has to be, right? Eat them raw once in a while, you'll notice the difference. I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't think I want to eat a raw bell pepper, if we're being honest. Where does the mullet and Chandon go? I don't know about all that. When you eat them raw, it's harder to tell the difference than if you cook them? Sub goal for raw bell pepper? You know what? Of the sub goals people have shared with me, that one is not that bad. I think most like foods I'd eat raw once. I ate okra raw as a child because my mom said if I didn't, she wouldn't make it fried. All right, so we're gonna set the oven to 400, and we're gonna grab our potatoes. I have gold Yukon potatoes here. This part of a pepper is when you find a baby pepper inside their phenomenon. That's fun. So I got a bag of gold Yukon potatoes, but if you have like the golden petite potatoes, that would be better because it's just you're gonna spend a lot less time chopping. Because we're putting everything into one sheet pan. Georgia, please. Wait, what? That didn't. Salty Nug. If you wanted to do a state accent redeem, the channel point thing didn't go through. There it goes. Georgia, please. I can do that for you. I love tiny potatoes. Tiny potatoes are great. The tiny reds, the tiny golds are phenomenal. Big fan of them. Especially when you're chopping into quarters like this. This potato's too squishy. I don't want that one. I'm Chilean. I know my pimentos. Pimentones. Is that how you say bell peppers? Pimentones? Man, I started saying that in the Georgia accent. That felt weird. What is the roar clip from? Shrek. So I want to say I'm quartering these potatoes, but technically I'm eighthing them. Half a potato and then quarter the half. And you're gonna fill a sheet pan. So think about that. The reason you want the small potatoes, right, is because potatoes take a long time to cook through evenly. The smaller you cut the potato, the faster it cooks. And so you want to chop everything to be the size so that they all cook at about the same speed in the 400-degree oven. Alright, we're gonna still need a little bit more of that. I'm mostly eyeballing this to see how many taters I'm gonna need. more. I got a couple begging dogs in the kitchen right now. I got exactly one begging dog in the kitchen right now. If you tour again, are you gonna tour with Zach? First of all, Zach with an H. He will argue with your moms about that. But when I tour again, will I bring him with me? Most likely. Alright, we're gonna drizzle some olive oil on top of that. And then we're gonna season them. Salt. Pepper. What else we got? We got some. We'll throw in some garlic powder. We don't need a ton of garlic powder because we got that garlic sauce that we made. But still garlic powder. Onions. We're gonna do some onion powder. Which one of you is better at air hockey? Ooh. I mean, I think I'm better at air hockey, but he's also had 11 years longer on this earth to get gooder at it than me. We're also gonna throw in some, this is just for me. We want some paprika on here. All right, we're gonna toss it. Get everything. I lost 2 potatoes. Looks good. Oh. Uh-oh. Is it down here? Yeah. We're good. We're good. Thought I lost my sheet pan. Saw y'all playing the night before one of your shows. Was just curious. Oh man, how long ago was that? All right, so that's step 1. Or that's ingredient number 1, I suppose. Next thing we're gonna add, roughen up the texture of the potatoes helps them take on the flavor and I think gives it a nice crisp once baked. How do you go about roughing up the texture on the potatoes, Comical Tuber? We got our broccoli here. I got 2 heads of broccoli. Just because broccoli gonna shrink. If the pieces were bigger, I'd scratch them with a fork. Makes sense. Definitely found the recipe or something very close to it, so I'm going to go snooze until you pop back on for Dungeon Doctoring. Alright. Have a good snooze. Every time I make broccoli, my only complaint when I'm done is that I didn't do more broccoli. So that's why I did 2 heads of broccoli this time. And we're gonna do the same thing with the broccoli that we just did the potatoes. Olive oil. Pepper. Salt. Oh. Spill some. It's important. Amazes me how much broccoli people in the USA eat. Y'all not got a lot of broccoli in Chile? Dude, I felt so weird saying that in a southern accent. Y'all ain't got broccoli in Chile? Is broccoli not very big over in Chile? Is the normal way of asking that question, I think. The States Overseas needs to be a skit about tourism. Maybe. I lost one, but it did not end up on the floor, so it's fine. All right. So the last step is the chicken. I've had my chicken marinating in a just a quick buttermilk marinade for the past couple of hours, I think. I mean, we have it, but it's not like the everyday salad like lettuce, tomato, and avocado. Yeah, that makes sense. I usually only eat broccoli if I'm having it for dinner, but I don't know if I'm the average American or not. Here's a silly question. Is a large dumpling called a dumple? No. I think it's still called a dumpling. Anyway, I've had my chicken marinating in a quick buttermilk marinade for a couple hours to make it tender. We gotta dry that off. So we're gonna lay down a paper towel, a couple paper towels. We're gonna pull these out of the buttermilk marinade. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Thanks for the raid, Fef. Thanks for the raid, Fef. Welcome in, Raiders. How you guys doing? What were y'all up to? It was a Monday. You don't have D&D on Monday, do you? Do you? Fef and Jared were ringing the Elden. Ah, fun. Were they ringing the Elden well? Was the Elden rung? Hype. Okay. Got our chicken thighs dried off. We're gonna drop them. Brother man, I tell you, you need this mod for PC. It's so damn good. I would love that mod. Fef. First, though, however, I need a PC. All right, we got our chicken thighs in the bowl. I'm gonna wash my hands, because I was just touching raw chicken with them. And we don't want that. Oof, that gif. Always clean up after a good chicken spa sesh. Yes. Always. Oh wait, I bought something. That's gonna make this part easier for me. Gloves. If I could just get a couple out of the box. If I could just, thank you. If I could just get one. If I could just get one of you out. Thank you. Any suggestions for other good marinades? Buttermilk sounds delightful, but got none on hand and rarely keep it in the fridge. Oh, so the way that you make buttermilk, comical tuber, put about a cup, roughly a cup, and you'll adjust this depending on how much meat you have to marinate, of roughly a cup of milk, or even like a milk substitute. Like even almond milk works, right? So put about a cup of milk into a bag and then about a tablespoon of an acid. Like I use distilled white vinegar. So about a cup of milk, about a tablespoon of vinegar. Give it like 10 minutes, and you'll start to see the milk separate in the bag. And that's when you know that the buttermilk is ready. So that's how you make buttermilk. And then you can drop your chicken in there and let it marinate for at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes to 2 hours, roughly, is about right. Rootable beers, I'd go a higher Steam Deck paired with a capture card so you would have a console while on tour. A Steam Deck. Sorry. My brain processed that as a Stream Deck. And I was like, I didn't know a Stream Deck was important in this, but a Steam Deck, that's good. Wait, that's so cool. Thank you. You're very welcome, Comical Tuber. That's usually how I do my marinades, because a lot of times I want to start marinating my chicken before I figure out what I want to make for dinner. And that's just a very quick and easy thing to just bang, bang, bang. Suddenly you have your chicken in a marinade, and it's gonna tenderize it while you're thinking about what else you want to make. You can bump that up. That's a pretty standard, straightforward one, but you can always make that better by adding in maybe some minced garlic, or you can even just use some powdered seasonings. Garlic, onion powder, paprika, whatever kind of flavor profile that you're looking for in the dinner itself, you can add to that marinade and just start getting the chicken to absorb it and all them juices. Okay, we got 4 chicken thighs here. Probably didn't need to add that much of the garlic sauce, but my cats just ran over me, jamming paws between my ribs and crushing a kidney to get to the sound of that sink running, but it was you. Sorry. Elevating the chicken before deciding what to do with it. Yeah. It's just a small elevation. Marinating in just some, basic buttermilk, but it's like, especially if you do it earlier in the day, that's like 2 hours of your process done. Boom. All right, we're gonna mix this all together. Bingo, a bango, a bongo. And then we're gonna put these chicken thighs just kind of on top of our potatoes and broccoli in the sheet pan. Bingo, bango, bongo, I don't want to leave the Congo. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Yeah. Got it. I'm gonna toss these gloves into the trash. So this is the sheet pan. Potatoes, broccoli, chicken, garlic Parmesan sauce. Perfetto. Now, you can pretty much add whatever veggies you want to this sheet pan. Or this is a pretty good thing to make if you just have stuff that's about to go bad and you need to cook it now, right? So if you have like some onion that's about to go bad, bam, chop up some onion and toss it in there. If you got some carrots that you gotta cook with, bam, chop up some carrots and toss it in there. You could probably even take a head of garlic and just chop off, so you're exposing the garlic, right? Chop off part of the head of the garlic and put just a few bulbs of garlic there. This is very good stuff to do if ... ads. Okay. So we're gonna cook this. Total time is roughly 35 minutes, right? But before it's done, we want to do like the last like 10 minutes or so. We want to add the rest of our Parmesan cheese and then put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. So we're gonna set a timer for 25 minutes. We're gonna set a timer for 25 minutes. At the end of the 25 minutes, we're gonna take it out. We're gonna sprinkle the rest of the Parmesan cheese on top, and we're gonna pop it back in the oven for about 10 more minutes. Frank, are we making food at 11 p.m.? No. Only my mom can judge me like that. That's the spirit. Also, I assume, I haven't asked, is it Javi? Javi? Or is it Javita? As soon as you said you were from Chile, my brain was like, ah. I think I know how to pronounce this, but I just don't know where the name ends and the rest of the letters begin. Is it Javita or is it Javi? Time is dependent on space and gravity. I thought he was on the East Coast, my bad. Nah, you're good, Frank. I moved out to LA, Los Angeles, about 5 years ago? Yeesh, yeah, about 5 years ago. All right, we are going to switch this over to... How'd I get Brynja correct? I don't think Brynja is a super uncommon name. The problem with Javi or Javita is that I'm looking at the username, and Javi and Javita are both viable names. So I just don't know what part of the username they go by. The Brynja, it's Brynja. It's Javiera, actually. It means, Ita means small. Yeah. I knew that part, which I was gonna follow it up with, even if it is Javita, it is that literally, it means the same thing, but Javita would just be small Javi. Javiera. I don't know if I've ever heard Javiera. But I guess that makes sense. It's just the female version of Javier. Well, thanks for being in here, Javi. There are 3 Brynjas in Iceland and 2 in the USA currently. You're saying there are only 5 people in the world named Brynja? I don't believe that. But also, when I was a kid, I really liked the song Young Folks by Peter, Bjork, and John. So maybe Bjork helped me. Is it wrong of me that instead of a Spanish base of that name, my mind went to Indian? I don't think that's wrong. Never met a Brynja in my life, but that could be anecdotal. Technically comical tuber. That's exactly what anecdotal means. All right, well, this is in the oven. We are going to clean up a little bit. This is also y'all's time if you wanted to ask questions or anything about whatever. I'll be just doing a mix
I'm in
of
danger.
be doing a mix of cleaning and reading chat. So all right, we're done with that. We're done with that. Put that away. That's trash. I want to keep this out. It is a literal word in Old Norse for shirt of chainmail. I did not know that. The more you know. Trash, trash. We can dump these bags of marinade out. Trash. There's a can that can go into recycling. Got Italian seasons over here. Okay. Which overall weather do you prefer, Florida or LA? LA. LA for sure. No humidity. Dude, it's so nice. The weather feels what it says. It's crazy. When I was first moving out here, I was here in July, and somebody was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you came here on like our hottest day," and it was like 88 degrees, and I was like, "Are you shitting me, dude? This feels amazing." Gotta be honest, that look was the same one my dad would give me when I would make the Alexa meow. I didn't know Alexa could do that. Do you think they are ever going to round out and put into canon the Phoenix Sorcerer build of D&D? I don't know what the Phoenix Sorcerer build of D&D is. I am unfamiliar with that. Please, enlighten us. My East Coast mind cannot conceptualize a non-human summer. Your lungs just work. Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Sometimes I get back from tour, I get off the plane, and I don't just feel a wall of water hit me in the face. This way. That can go into trash. This goes into the washer. Red Sky, I only have heard about it in a couple of YouTube videos about lesser play builds. I'm gonna have to find the book myself, then I'll send you a copy when I do. Okay. Have you played the Baby in Yellow game? It's wild. I have not heard of that. Javi, what got you into D&D? I had some friends that played weekly, and they lived in Arizona, and they invited some friends out to their place just to hang out for the weekend and play some D&D together, and I just happened to be like passing through, and so they're like, come hang, we'll teach you D&D and stuff. And first time playing it, I loved it, and I was like, I'd love to play this more. And so ever since then, I have simply been with that group playing online for the past 5 years every Tuesday. Sade says, Ned, the lack of humidity is probably one of my favorite parts about living in Arizona. Yeah. Zadok, definitely don't when it rains just long enough to make everything even more damp and humid. Don't miss. 5 years. Yeah. I think. 5.5 maybe? Lovely mystery. I'm really trying to get into the roleplay part of D&D. What is stopping you? Lovely mystery. If anything. Maybe you aren't being stopped at all. You're just getting into it. How are you enjoying it? Have you found any roadblocks in your path to try getting into the role play part of D&D? Always gotta take care of the good knife. If you take care of the good knife will take care of you. You ever try Shadowrun? I have not. I haven't heard of Shadowrun before. This might come as a surprise, but I'm pretty chronically offline. I don't really know about stuff. I don't hear about things. Just trying to push down the embarrassment part of it. Yeah, that happens. It's definitely, it can feel embarrassing sometimes. But maybe it'll help to think about it like this. When one of your friends gets into roleplay, do you judge them? Do you look at them and go, that's embarrassing? Because if you don't think that about them, it'd be kind of rude to think that your friends want to judge you. Charles, I tend to play characters with a lot of, well, let's just say they don't like themselves very much. Never use the D&D format, though. You'd probably be a rogue, Charles. Red Sky, Shadowrun is a tabletop RPG based in the future. Magic has returned to a technological cyberpunk world. Okay, very cool. Adam, as someone who was picked on a lot in school, it is very easy to believe that everyone is laughing at you behind your back for the things that you enjoy. Absolutely. I understand that. The difference more so here is in this context, you're playing a game with like a small group of your friends. Lovely mystery. They don't get too much into it. Only one of them does. Okay. They'd probably all get more into it the more that they see that it's okay to do that. To be cringe is to be free. Much easier said than done, though. Much easier said than done. Okay. Good knife is clean. Thanks for the follow, Cupcake22. Appreciate that. Put that there, put this there, this there. Trash. That can go in there. That can go in there. Move this over. Javi, trust your friends. Trust your friends. Or not, they're your friends. I don't know. No. Get out of the kitchen, Clover. Depending on that person's experience and how old that person is, that may be easier said than done. I didn't have a genuine friend until I was 17, as an example. It happens. Red Sky, medication helps too. I was able to shed decades of crippling anxiety and self-consciousness. It's a good thing. Medicine is a good thing. Cupcake, I was over on TikTok and heard everything and just wanted to chime in with, I'm literally the youngest person in my friend group. I do things normal people would think is cringe all the time, but they love me for it. It's the things that make you unique, that make you special to the people who truly matter. That's beautiful, Cupcake. Also, that whole sentence of, that's beautiful, Cupcake. It's a wild one. Cisco, the movie Johnny and Mnemonic is based on Shadowrun? Huh. I've heard of that movie. I don't know anything about that movie, but I've heard of it. Hello. Is that Pikachu? Oh, it's Pikachu doing a little hula dance with no hula hoop. He's kind of doing the Charlie Brown just. Okay. The stuff is clean. Oh, we got a little frog lasso dance? That's cute. Did I make a mistake joining the army? Yeah. Yeah, you did, Slaughter. We all make mistakes, though. What was your favorite cartoon as a kid? Oh, man. Loved me some Codename Kids Next Door. Loved me some SpongeBob. Watched a lot of My Life as a Teenage Robot. Pinky and the Brain, obviously. That's a tough one. Favorite? I'm not sure. Actually, I took one of those 23andMe DNA tests. Took the ride day, and I ran it through a website called Prometheus, which gave me a medical database cross-referencing all my DNA markers with peer-reviewed studies, and then found a medication that was primed to help. I've heard the horror stories about people going through trials of different medications, so I just checked. So I just hacked my body, better living through chemistry all the way. Hey, if it worked out for you, I'm happy for it. Okay, plus you never know, getting into it could get your friends into it as well and build an even better relationship. Yeah. Cupcake, also something funny, after being in a bad accident, your videos were literally all over my FYP for like 2 weeks straight, LOL. I'm sorry, and you're welcome, I think. Charles XJ9. Oh, I know that name, but I cannot picture the cartoon. Comical Tuber. Tom and Jerry up there for you. Oh, for sure. Tom and Jerry is up there. Guts and My Life as a Teenage Robot. I haven't thought about that show in a decade. It fully escapes my memories entirely most of the time, and then occasionally, for no reason whatsoever, it will just reappear in my brain. The K and Codename Kids Next Door acronyms were peak wordplay. Yeah. It's probably why I like all the Pokemon name wordplay now. The main character from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Oh shit! Yeah, I thought it was just Jenny, but that makes sense. I've been friends with these people for 14 years with a 2-year gap with a loss of contact. I trust them. I do a good job of my own fighting the anxiety of performing. I'm just a bit self-conscious about my parents judging one side of the conversation because me and my friends do it on voice call and I wear headphones. I think that's a valid fear and a valid concern. I cut off my parents at 16. I barely talked to them at all, so I don't know if I could help with that. XJ9 was the formal name of Jenny the Teenage Robot. Jay, kudos to your Twitch chat biohacker, but they may want to pull their data from 23andMe. That bankruptcy is going to be rough from my privacy standpoint. AJ. Also, hi, how's the food coming? It's going good. There's about a minute and a half left on the oven right now. Then we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese on top, toss it back in the oven for another 10 minutes, and then we're good to go. Guts and New Ben lore. I'm so sorry, man. It's fine. Do you think your parents ever saw your shows? I know my parents saw my. Don't do this. I don't need parenting. I don't want hugs. I don't need, like, I'm sorries. I'm 30 years old. I've processed it. I would not have offered that information to you if I was still uncomfortable with it. I did 6 years in the army and then got cancer and I'm 30 years old. When I say something bad that happened to me, I don't go, oh, I want to give you a hug. I'm an adult man. And I didn't need my parents then, and I don't need them now. Just act normal, please. I don't need protecting. So please don't think you have to. I do not respond well to that type of energy. Do I think my parents ever saw my shows? Yeah, they've been to multiple shows. I still occasionally talk to my mom once every few months. She's been to a few shows. She knows the jokes that I have about her. She's seen them. She's been live in an audience, and I pointed her out and said, that's my mom. Anyway, here's a joke about her liver cancer. The crowd did not feel comfortable laughing at that one, but I laughed at it. I apologize for apologizing, big dog. You're good, Gutsan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. I'm just saying the letters that I'm seeing. Oh, baby. Looks good so far. All right, we're gonna pop that back in there. For about another 10 minutes. Sometimes you need to cut out family for your own mental health. Yeah. They're just people. Javier is so real. I lost my dad at 7, and people get so uncomfortable when it was 23 years ago. I'm not gonna cry because someone says dad in my presence. Yeah, that's the thing about dropping the lore, man. Like, you've had 23 years to process it. They're just hearing it for the first time. And a lot of people don't really respond super well. Cupcake, cut my bios off like 3 years ago, haven't looked back. Sometimes it's just about having that space to just breathe and heal. Yeah. Gutzenborglum ain't even my real name. It's the name of the guy who planned Mount Rushmore. Huh. Pickle, you're like if Florida had comedians. You're not gonna believe this, Pickle. My friends have seen my crazy, weird side as a kid and stuck around. That's how I know they're good friends. That's a good test. If they've seen you're weird and they stuck around anyway. Guys, I got a new scrub daddy. Have you seen the article about the guy who threw an alligator through a Wendy's drive-thru? Yeah, I've seen that. That's old news. Come on, we're on new news. I got a new scrub daddy. Look, it's soft and spongy on one side, and then scrapey on. Excellent. AJ, and no regret in cutting out relationships that make you life worse, be it blood, romance, friend, or acquaintance, and respect to the people who have the courage and strength of self to do it. It's a good message, AJ. Who's your scrub daddy? He needs a name? I thought scrub daddy was his name. There's a scrub mommy. She does twice the work with half the credit. Oh, that's a good joke. That's a good joke, comical tuber. Red Sky, I used one of those on the cheapo Gotham Steel set I bought when I gods that set is trash. He's one of those on the cheapo Gotham Steel set I bought when I gods that set is trash. When I got one, gods that set is trash. I'm sorry that it was trash. Scrub daddies are fire. RPM assassin, frog. Alexandria Foster, have you ever made sesame chicken before? I don't think so, no. Got some. A scrub daddy is a guy who can't get no love from me, leaning out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. Fat Dog Famo, you saw the movie Melt on this? That's crazy, dude. I didn't know anybody saw that one. Ashton, do you stream on TikTok? Do you know where you're commenting that on? Does TikTok even exist anymore? Yeah. You should sing more, you're good. I'm not. Did they just ask that on TikTok? They did, Steve. They did. Been following you since the pandemic and almost didn't recognize you. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. tiny bubbles in my beer. Make me happy. Make me wanna cheer. Y'all ever just get military cadences randomly stuck in your head while you're doing chores around the house? Anybody? Still in California, you should go back to Florida. I'm still in California. In the movie, I almost didn't realize it was you. Had to watch the credits. Yeah, I look very different. What's the best karaoke song? Oh, the best karaoke song is Mr. Brightside by The Killers. It's 3 minutes long. It's mostly just chorus. The chorus is yelling. The chorus is upbeat. And it's very popular. There's only like one verse that gets repeated. So like the chances for an audience to not know part of the song very small. I'm gonna sing it at my resort tomorrow. It might be different at a resort. It depends on like. Is this an old people resort, Mello? Is this like for old people? All ages. All right, as long as if it's not mostly just old people, Mr. Brightside slaps. If it's mostly old people, the best karaoke song becomes Sweet Caroline. Not many old people. All right, Mr. Brightside is your best bet. Food's ready. Let's switch this over. Look at that. Oh, I'm... Sorry, camera. All right. So let's take a bite. And then I'm gonna take a bite, see how it tastes, and then I'm gonna let y'all go so I can eat. I've been watching your old videos and came across the Weird City Name series. I'm shocked you haven't done Pennsylvania yet. They have, in my opinion, the weirdest names in the country. Yeah. Climax, Intercourse, Blue Ball. I'm familiar with y'all's work. But yeah, I'm gonna take a bite, and then we're gonna say goodbye. If you're on Twitch, we're gonna raid into somebody. If you're not on Twitch, you can't raid in. If you want to raid in anyway, hop over to Twitch, and then you can join the raid. I'm gonna eat, probably watch a show, cook, clean up a little bit, and then we're gonna do Homebrew Doctor. We're gonna go live again tonight. It's almost 9 o'clock now, so let's shoot for... Today I learned you have a Twitch. Welcome in, Kit Kat Snack. I just started streaming again about a month ago, so... We're gonna go live again. Let's shoot for... 9:30? 45 minutes. But before that, let's take a bite. Let's start with a potato. Potatoes. Longtime fan just realized I'll be tuning in now that I know LMFAO. Appreciate that Kit Kat snack. Buen provecho. Bon appetito. It's gonna be real hot. Hold on. All right. I was right. It is hot. But good. Let's take a bite of this chicken. Let's get a bite of this chicken. That's the important part. Get out of there, broccoli. Are you going to do any more table videos? Probably. I just needed a mental health break is all. Looks delish. Thanks, let's hope it is. Fresh out the oven. Hot. Mm-hmm. 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 That's good. That's good. Is this the best meal I've made? No. Is it good? Yes. Scale of 1 to 5, right? 1 being absolutely abysmal, 3 being not good or bad, 5 being great. This is a 4. This is a 4. It's got a lot of, it's very garlic and Parmesan, which, based on the name, garlic Parmesan sheet pan chicken, that is what we were shooting for. But it doesn't really have much else. Is it something I'll make again? Probably. I'll change up the recipe a little bit. Any spice to it? No. Oh, I put some paprika on the broccoli and the potatoes, but because we were doing a dupe recipe, I didn't want to do anything crazy. Now that I know the baseline tastes good, I'm going to adjust the recipe again the next time we make it. It doesn't have much of a, you know, but it's good, right? It's a 4 out of 5. It's good. It's also really, really easy to make. And if you don't want to make the garlic parm sauce from scratch and you just buy like a bottle of garlic parm sauce, it's even easier to make. Because if you have the garlic parm sauce already, you're just quartering potatoes, chopping florets off of broccoli, off a head of broccoli, doing some seasonings, and then mixing chicken in some garlic parm sauce. And then you bake it at 400 for 35 minutes. It's a super easy recipe to make. It tastes good. It's very customizable. Whatever vegetables or anything that you want to throw in that sheet pan, you basically can. And it's good, but it's not great. So I don't want you to make it and expect you're just gonna take a bite and go, oh my God. However, this garlic parm sauce that we made from scratch, hey, let me tell you, man, that's some good shit. And I'm gonna pour a little bit out of my plate and dip everything into it, because that's some good ass sauce. 204 degrees Celsius for any non-Americans. Thank you, Steve. Yes. You could probably just do 200 Celsius. I don't think the other 4 are gonna be that big of a difference. Could be wrong though. That's how a depressed person cooks. I should know. Hey, you're not alone. All right, let us check out who is currently live on Twitch that we can raid into. Oh, we got Trey's online. We haven't raided Trey in a minute. Let's raid.
MREs with Trey.
Let's raid some A Trey.
MREs.
It looks like she's going to probably get into some Expedition 33 tonight. She's not playing it yet. But if you don't already follow A Trey, you're missing out. Trey is wonderful. She's very lovely. She's very, very funny. Very hardworking. One of my good friends. Raid A Trey. Did I put enough letters? I did. Okay. So everyone hop in this raid for A Trey. She's a really good friend of mine. She's very, very funny. So please, when you do the raid, stick around, give her a follow, hang out, chat. She's gonna be doing some Expedition 33, I guess, later tonight. She's lovely. So give her a follow when we raid over there. If you're not on Twitch, you can't raid. You can, however, still follow her on all the other platforms. A Trey, AYYTRAE. She's lovely and her sketches are phenomenal. So pile in this raid. Ooh, I need a raid message. A is her raid message. Everyone just start chanting Trey. T-R-A-E. So Trey, 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 Trey. Love you, minute. I'll be back on an hour.